worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
Katie Shanahan here with you on Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good to have you company this Wednesday morning. I'll be guiding you through until 6 a.m. when Alan Brazil and Ray Party Parlour will be taking over with talkSPORT Breakfast. Loads of Champions League action to get into very, very shortly. Estevao is across all of the back pages this morning after his fabulous goal and display for Chelsea as they beat Barcelona 3-0. As for Manchester City and Newcastle, they both lost in the Champions League, with Pep Guardiola making 10 changes and the team losing 2-1 to Marseille. That was thanks to 2 great goals from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And we'll get through loads of other stuff coming up in the show. And remember, you can get involved as well. We'd love to hear what you're getting up to this morning, whether you're just waking up, maybe you're on your way to work, or you've got a long, long drive ahead of you. You can tell me where you're going. Please get involved in the show. The number to call is 03717 223344, or you can text me 81089. Right, let's get into it. So as I just mentioned, Estevao is across all of the back pages, and rightly so. We've got on the back page of The Sun, simply the Est, as he slides to the corner flag after that brilliant goal for Chelsea. We've got Lamine, who, that is on the back page of The Times. We'll get into that comparison a little bit later on. Also, Lamine, who, because what a great game Mark Cucurella had against him, which silenced Lamine Yamal, both 2 teenage talents, which is probably why we're seeing on the back page of the Daily Star, Dream Teen, with Estevao also celebrating and Lamine Yamal not quite celebrating in the same manner. Boy Wonder is on the back page of the Daily Mail, and finally here, Estevao Wonder on the back page of the Daily Telegraph. So you can see there's a running theme that we're going to be bringing you this morning. So let's get into match day 5 of the Champions League phase as it got underway last night, and talkSPORT was, of course, right across the lot.
That velodrome in Marseille is iconic, and it is fierce. It goes into the penalty area, bounces kindly for Harvey Barnes, and he's done it again.
I can't remember over the last at least 4 years, Sam, covering a Champions League game and it be very dour. They're so good.
And it's a scintillating goal from the boy wonder, Esteval. Take a bow.
That boy will win the Ballon d'Or one day. And here comes Aubameyang, and punch comes miles out of his goal. Aubameyang trying to score from a tight angle, and does! What a goal from Aubameyang!
Certainly think there's another goal in the game, but I'm not sure who to.
Rush of blood from the head from Pope as Weir goes in towards the near post, and it's Aubameyang again, getting across his marker.
Bottom line is they've had a mad 5 minutes.
Leverkusen have doubled their lead. Manchester City 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2, and it's Patrick Schick.
Now Chelsea 3, 10-man Barcelona 0. Liam Delap off the bench has his first ever Champions League goal.
That is it. The full-time whistle blows. It's more away day irritation for the two. They have been beaten in the Stade Velodrome by 2-1.
Yeah, what a night it was. Esteval was the one to boy wonder, and interesting hearing Sam Matchface, probably rightfully so, saying that he will win the Ballon d'Or, you would think, one day. As for Newcastle, they suffered their second Champions League defeat, but do remain in the top 8 until tonight's games at least. Man City made 10 changes and were made to pay for it against Bayern Leverkusen. And in the glamour tie of the night, as we just mentioned there, Chelsea thumped 10-man Barcelona 3-0 after Ronaldo went off, and that kind of changed the game, really. And then it was Chelsea's to just take control, and it was a sensational goal, a moment for the 18-year-old Brazilian Esteval. You really feel as though that this is the game where he announced himself on the global stage. And Blues boss Enzo Maresca was full of praise for the teenager. But of course, as all managers want to know and want to feel, he wants to make sure that his feet stay firmly on the ground.
No, the goal from Esteval reminded me the goal he scored against us in the Club World Cup. That is very similar, same action. Esteval needs relax. He needs to enjoy. He needs to session. He needs to play football. Him, Lamine, they are so young with 18 that if you start to talk about Messi, Ronaldo, I think it's too much pressure for young boy like them. So 18. They need to enjoy. They need to arrive at the training ground, happy session. But when you start to compare them with Messi or with Ronaldo, I think it's too much for them.
Is it too much? Can they be put in the same category as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo this early? It's interesting hearing from Enzo Maresca there. They're both 18 and are now reportedly the most considered two most valuable teenagers in world football. For example, Lamine Yamal is valued at a staggering 307.4 million, with Esteval now second, but actually lagging relatively far behind, 103.8 million. But I mean, what brilliant talents both of these players are. Boy wonder, and you feel as though one day one of these players are going to get the Ballon d'Or. They're just absolutely amazing. Esteval said after the game, it was definitely the best moment of my career so far. That goal using his ballerina footwork to dance around defenders was just a joy to watch. And talkSPORT live football hosts Adrian Durham and Alex Crook were at the bridge last night and might have annoyed Maresca by comparing Esteval to Ronaldo.
An absolute joy, the kind of player you don't mind paying money to see, a special talent. Sam actually said earlier he's going to win a Ballon d'Or one day, and you can see why he's saying that.
Absolutely. He looks an absolute superstar already, doesn't he, at the age of 18. His bravery on the ball, he can do the physical side of the game. He's got brilliant feet, he's got great pace, and he's got a rocket shot on him as well, as he showed with the goal. And I'll add to Sam's rather bold prediction with a bold claim of my own. I think if you look at Esteval and how quickly he's adapted to life in the Premier League, I think there's a big argument that he has to start the game here against Arsenal on Sunday. I think he looks a better player at the same age than when Cristiano Ronaldo burst onto the scene at Manchester United.
Do you agree with Crookie? Do you think that, and also Sam Matchface there, that Esteval, could one day win the Ballon d'Or, and also with those comparisons to Ronaldo as well? So are we getting ahead of ourselves too soon? But another amazing night for Esteval, and you feel as though this is really the game that made him announce himself on the global stage. Up next for Chelsea is Arsenal at home this weekend. They'll have a day's rest on the Gunners, who play Bayern Munich tonight. Mikel Arteta's actually said in the Daily Star they aren't worried about Harry Kane, who has now scored more goals at the Emirates than any other opposition player with 6. Harry Kane, I'm also reading, it has been saying in the back page of The Sun that watching the Premier League is a little less enjoyable as there are more set plays. Do you agree with him? 03717 722 3344. I don't know about that. I'm actually, as an Arsenal fan, really enjoying the set pieces, unsurprisingly. But do you think the Premier League has got a little bit more boring, bearing in mind we're seeing more set plays, more long throws? You know, it's probably more direct, probably more old school, but you know, we're getting more chaos within the box. Where do you sit on that? Do you think the Premier League has got a little bit more boring due to set plays? Do you agree with Harry Kane? I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. You can give me a text 81089. Well, as for Chelsea against Arsenal at the weekend, Thomas, the Chelsea fan, rang the sports bar and said that victory on Sunday could be decisive in the title race.
If we can beat Arsenal on Sunday, I put us favourites to win the league.
Oh, what? Way before Christmas?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So if you beat Arsenal Sunday, favourites to win the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, you said there's no Chelsea fan we know willing to put their
Thomas, you're a doctor.
No, yeah. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying, but
I don't know if I want to come and see you, mate. If I was,
no. Do you know what? Do you know what? We did say that. We did say they got to start hanging their hat on it, and he's
not say the favourites.
Yeah, where do you sit on that? I think that's a really bold claim. I mean, as things stand, Arsenal currently 6 points clear in the Premier League. Chelsea second behind. But bearing in mind, we're at the end of November. There is a long, long way to go. So I think if the Thomas, the Chelsea fan, I think you've gone a bit early there. I don't think this weekend will decide the title race. And bearing in mind, City, you know, they're having a blip at the moment, but you can never write them off, especially during the latter stages of the season. Well, as for Chelsea, they had a great night to remember, but it was defeats for Man City and Newcastle. City started at home to Bayern Leverkusen with Haaland and Donnarumma on the bench. The bench was just mad. He had made 10 changes, and Pep Guardiola explained his selection post-match.
The guys who come from the bench was the same, and so it was slippery 10 times. Every shoot was blocked, and they are a fantastic team, fantastic players. So I'm not saying the opposite, but yeah, it's maybe, you know, with players that play regularly lately, and maybe we'll have be confident for the new players come. So it's a good question, but always I like to be sometimes too nice and to be involved everyone, because I had the feeling, you know, when you have international break, you have 4 or 5 games and after break, but here are now 3-4 days until March, hopefully. You are not out the FA Cup or Carabao, and there is no human being can sustain it for that.
Yeah, for example, they had so many players on the bench. I mean, for example, you had Haaland on the bench, you had Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden, and Donnarumma all on the bench, and Guardiola as well. So you just feel as though 10 changes was probably a little bit too much, and it cost them on the night. As for Newcastle, they were 1-0 ahead, but that was overturned by Marseille. A brace from a man we know very well, especially Arsenal fans, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Eddie Howe discussed their top 8 chances after the game.
Well, it leaves us a little bit bruised right this second, but we'll come back. We've got some great games ahead. This competition was never going to be straightforward for us. It was never going to be plain sailing. It's the elite competition it is, because you're going to be challenged and stretched, and it will make us a better team for all these experiences. Today's a tough one to take, but the lads are robust, they're experienced, and we're ready to fight back.
Okay, well, Aubameyang's first goal is well worth the watch if you haven't seen it. He took a huge step round Nick Pope before curling in from such a tight angle. He just had a glance, saw the goal and put it in. I mean, fair play to him. But as we know him very, very well and doing amazing things in Marseille. So our text topic this morning for you is, No surprises. Who's the best teenage sensation you've seen live? Is it Esteban? Have you managed to see him live? How impressed were you with him last night? Have you been able to see Lamine Yamal live? I actually have seen both of these players live. Lamine Yamal, I remember being live for the Euros semi-final. It was Spain against France, and it was that incredible goal when he took it and the curling effort when he got that goal for Spain. And that was also a moment where you feel as though he really announced himself on the global stage. Scoring for Spain, I remember being pitch side and just watching that curl in and just having the bravery and freedom to just have a shot from range. The same with Estevao, just goes on these glorious, amazing runs and just, uses his ballerina footwork to dance around defenders. So both of these players still only 18, and what a bright future they have. But any other names you would like to throw into the ring? Who's the best teenage sensation you've seen live? You can give me a text, 81089 on the text, or you can give me a call, 0371722 3344. Right, Katie Shanahan here with you this Wednesday morning. Coming up next, more news on that. Cristiano Ronaldo will play right from the start of next summer's World Cup. It's 5:15. morning. How are you doing this Wednesday morning? Katie Shanahan here with you until 6 o'clock when Alan Brazil and Ray Party Parlour take over the airways with talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan rolling back the years, doing all 5 days this week, and he's a lucky man because he gets me 3 days. Yes, I'm doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And remember, you can be across our radio, we're across your smart speakers, and we are also live on YouTube and your smart TV, so you can watch us while you're having breakfast, perhaps. Right, here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Wednesday morning. Coventry City are for lying, aren't they? 10 points clear at the top of the championship after a thrilling 4-2 victory away at Middlesbrough, who dropped below Stoke into third on goal difference. Middlesbrough, Tommy Conway, by the way, missed an absolute sitter. That was at 2-2. What a cracking game. Love the championship. So good. Coventry City, though, you feel are running away with it. As for Arne Slot, he's admitted he feels guilty about Liverpool's poor run of form and concedes he has to prove himself all over again. The Reds host PSV. That's in the Champions League tonight, live and exclusive for you on talkSPORT 2. And Cristiano Ronaldo has been given a World Cup reprieve by FIFA and can play in the first game of next summer's World Cup finals. The 40-year-old had been given a red card against the Republic of Ireland for elbowing Dara O'Shea, but FIFA have suspended 2 of the 3 matches for his violent conduct offence, which would normally carry on. And Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent weren't at all impressed.
Otamendi and Caicedo have a one-match ban and will miss the first games for their country in the World Cup. But Ronaldo's next 2 matches have been suspended for a year.
I need to know the reasons as to why they've done that. And also, if you're Otamendi, Argentina, and Caicedo, you're going, hold on a second here, that ain't happening. If he's suspended, mine's suspended, there's nowhere on the planet they could...
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's not great. Not a great look at all. But yeah, we all saw the selfie and the picture that he was there. I know he was in America at the Trump event, having dinner and all that.
Yeah.
I think he was there with the FIFA president as well.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
Yeah, I just think, you know what I think about FIFA? You just can't trust them, can you?
Lots of other reaction to this story. People saying, sounds right about FIFA, all about Ronaldo's commercial value rather than his sporting integrity. Lots of people, one rule for Ronaldo, all of that, because it does kind of come across like that. One rule for Ronaldo and different for everyone else. Of course, you can go to all of these stories. They are on talksport.com. Right, it is 5:22, so it is time to look at the back pages and let's say a very good morning. Tom Clayton, hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Should we start with that story, shall we?
Yeah.
Ronaldo managing to kind of get his part, shall we, to start the World Cup, which I suppose for all fans, there's 2 sides to this story, isn't it? We want to see Ronaldo at the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be his last World Cup.
Yeah.
So we want to see him performing. And you want Ronaldo and Messi. I've gone to a number of World Cups and the absolute... I probably followed Messi more in the World Cup in 2022. I followed a lot of the Argentina fans. I actually went sandboarding in the Qatar sand dunes with Messi's children just by chance, which was crazy. So we were going on all these like jeeps up and down these sand dunes, and then we were around this fire, and then there were these kids that were on this separate fire. And I was like, and then an Argentinian came up to me and they were like, "You don't know whose kids those are, do you?" And I was like, "No," and they were like, "Those are Messi's children." And I was like, oh, wow. So little did I, and then they were sandboarding and it was all separate, but they were all very protected. But at the same time, Messi was playing in the semi-final the next day and the kids needed something to do on their day off. So why not?
Yeah, when you're out to the deserts of the Middle East, then why not go
Exactly.
sandboarding?
You've got to keep them busy.
Absolutely. With the talkSPORT early breakfast toast, there's no greater honour.
I should have gone home to them. Do you know?
You know who I am.
Who I am. No, I'm joking.
All well and good being there. Chill. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, your dad's busy, I know.
Absolutely.
Or I could have just joined in.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which sandboarding is very hard. But yes, Ronaldo. I mean, where do you sit on this and what are the papers saying?
I am in complete agreement with Andy and Benty. I think it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke.
But are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. And that tells you where FIFA is, where football is nowadays. The fact that, we don't often use the C word on radio, corruption. I just wanted to clarify that.
I was going to say, do not do that.
Just want to clarify that. I know it's early breakfast. But no, we don't often use the word corruption. But everything about this World Cup, I remember when the World Cups have been announced in the past, when there's been allegations of corruption about the Russian World Cup, about the Qatar World Cup. And then we thought, oh yeah, everything's going to be okay. We've gone back to a bit more of a normal setup. I'm not accusing of blatant corruption. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But I just don't think it's being put together particularly cleanly.
Yeah, right. What other stories have we got on the back pages?
So obviously Esteval from last night in the Champions League, he is absolutely lighting it up. The Sun's gone with the headline, Simply the Est. The Mail's gone with Boy Wonder. The Guardian have gone with Teen Supreme. The Star have gone with Dream Teen. I mean, he was phenomenal last night. And I think it was part and parcel with the fact that Lamine Yamal wasn't as good as maybe one was expecting. I think he was pocketed a little bit by Marc Cucurella. And I think Esteval comes into the game. He had nothing to lose, and he looked like that as well. And earlier on, I heard that clip of Crocky saying that he's better than a young Ronaldo. But when he came into the Premier League, I think he's absolutely right. And I think Esteval should be regarded as one of Chelsea's best players. But every paper is just absolutely waxing lyrical about how good this guy is.
Well, our text topic this morning is, who is the best teenage sensation you've seen live? And we've had a couple of texts here. Will Larry saying, by far the best teenager I've seen live. This is a great argument. Wayne Rooney, of course. So Wayne Rooney has definitely got to be up there. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Sammy, Manchester United England fan, has also gone with as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Esteval, Lamine Yamal, all coming under the umbrella now. We're discussing this morning, are they the next Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi? What's one more story you got for us?
One more story. I'll go with this one. This is with FIFA. They've opted for tennis-style seedings at the World Cup. That means the 4 highest-ranked countries that win their groups will be given a seeding, so we won't see the likes of England v France in a quarter-final. That'll happen in the semi-finals. I think it's England, France, Spain and Argentina are the 4 highest-ranked teams going into this competition. So therefore, they're going to be given effectively this split where they completely have to avoid each other. So
that's good though, right?
It's good for us.
And especially Thomas Tuchel is on the back page of the Sun saying Thomas Tuchel has been given a clearer route to World Cup finals glory. His England side can avoid Spain and Argentina until the semis at next year's tournament and would not have to play France until the final in the USA. I think that's great because it gives us a better chance.
I think it's fantastic. I think if you look at the way that the World Cup is going to fall, I think it could be quite tough for England, even quite early in the knockout stages, because we're going to have to play some good teams. But I think at the same time, when you get to avoid the likes of Spain, Argentina, and France until later on, that's better for building momentum, and you can go into those games hopefully having put in some good performances.
Okay, let's see. Thank you so much, Tom Clayton, for now. Right, Katie Shanahan here with you this Wednesday morning. talkSPORT Breakfast is coming up at 6 o'clock in the company of Alan Brazil and Ray Party-Parler. It's 5:27, and up next, we're going to be looking ahead to Arsenal's big game against Bayern Munich and Harry Kane.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good morning, Katie Shanahan here with you on Early Sports Breakfast. Happy Wednesday, hump day and all that. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast, which is coming up at 6 o'clock with Alan Brazil and Ray Party Parlour, who will be taking over the airwaves. So here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Wednesday morning. 18-year-old Estevao outshone Lamine Yamal as Chelsea eased past 10-man Barcelona 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. The Blues are the first English team, get this, to beat Barcelona 5 times in the competition. Man City and Newcastle, however, lost to Bayer Leverkusen and Marseille respectively. Everton FC's Hill Dickinson Stadium will host Super League's Magic Weekend for the first time in 2026. And remember, talkSPORT is your home of Rugby League. We'll have live coverage of the 2026 season. That's from February. And Coventry City are flying. They're now 10 points clear at the top of the championship after a thrilling 4-2 victory away at Middlesbrough, who dropped below Stoke. That's due to goal difference into third. And Middlesbrough, Tommy Conway, by the way, missed an absolute sitter. That was at 2-2, but what a game that was. 4-2. Coventry City and Frank Lampard absolutely flying. Well, he says that he's not bothered in the slightest by how the league table looks at the moment.
It doesn't matter, does it? I think, it's we keep doing what we're doing. It's so early in the season still. We see the league. No one's stupid. Stoke and teams like Middlesbrough are good teams in and around us. Ipswich's and Southampton's and these teams, we know they can come big runs because they're in the Premier League last year and they're working at a different level to us. That's the Championship. But what we're trying to do is do our thing. No time to look at that for too long. Okay, yeah, take the confidence from what we're doing at the moment, but keep our feet on the ground and understand what got us to this place and try and continue it.
Yeah, so pleased for Frank Lampard. I remember speaking to him recently when they beat Norwich and, just flying. He's instilling so much belief into that group. Haji Wright doing well as well. I remember speaking to him after the game, and whenever I see him play live, I always end up speaking to him. He ends up scoring lots of goals. But Coventry flying and very, very pleased for them. Elsewhere in the Championship last night, Stoke beat Charlton 3-0. Stoke up to second now on goal difference. Southampton scoring goals for fun at the moment. They beat Leicester 3-0. 4 wins in a row for the Saints, who are now up to 11th. So lots of Saints fans happy at the moment. Norwich nearly got their first win under Philippe Clement, but Oxford actually scored a really late equaliser, so that ended 1-1 between Norwich and Oxford. Derby beat Swansea 2-1. It ended 1-1 between Watford and Preston, and Ipswich beat Hull by 2-0. As for tonight, you've got 5 more games in the Championship, and of course I'll have more reaction on all of those games in tomorrow's show, as I'll be back tomorrow morning. And of course, you can get more on the biggest stories from the day. You just need to head over to talksport.com. Right, a reminder of today's text topic for you. Who is the best teenage sensation that you've seen live? This is after Esteval's exploits last night against Barcelona. Incredible run he went on, and you really feel as though he announced himself on the world stage. Sam Matterface saying in commentary that one day this boy will be winning the Ballon d'Or. Lots of people comparing them now this morning. Lamine Yamal and Esteval. Are they the new Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi? Are we getting a bit too excited too soon? I mean, they're both 18 and they're both doing brilliant things. But who is the best teenage sensation you have seen live? We've got one here from Derek, who's gone Michael Owen, was the best 14-year-old in world football. That's a good shout. We've also had this from Anthony in Fard. He said George Best against Blackpool on the 30th of October 1965. United won 2-1. Alan Ball scored for Blackpool. So maybe, yes, that's a good shout as well. We've also had Wayne Rooney from Will this morning. We've also had another one up here. I like this one. Good morning, Kate, from Frosty Bolton. Is it Frosty in Bolton? I haven't even looked out the window this morning. Good morning, lovely Katie. Best young players you've ever seen. This is from Kate. Good name, by the way. At my wedding, the whole Barcelona team was staying whilst playing City 22 years ago, and they all partied with my guests. That's amazing, including Ronaldinho and Xavi, to name a few. Wow. And P.S. pleased to hear you're on early sports breakfast all week. Yes, I am. What an amazing wedding. That's amazing. Just have the Barcelona team just come and join in with the guests. I bet your guests can believe it. That is amazing. Right, keep those texts coming in. 81089. Who is the best teenage sensation that you've seen live? And I'm Michael Owen, we have Wayne Rooney, and this is all around Esteval and Lamine Yamal. Keep those texts coming in. 81089 this morning. Right, following on from Sunday's North London derby walkover for Arsenal, both them and Spurs are back in Champions League action tonight.
Bayern Munich 5, Arsenal 1. The Gunners have pressed self-destruct.
Is this Arsenal's time?
Right edge of the area, takes a touch, gives it to Trossard.
Starting to believe, actually, we could win the Champions League this season, and we probably could win the lot.
And Harry Kane heads Bayern Munich into an early lead.
The Arsenal fans don't like me as much.
Ekitike racing through on goal. Terrific pace. Oh, what a finish.
There is going to be pressure coming his way.
Looks like game over now. Ivan Perisic has just got himself in on the goal-scoring act.
Touch around the corner for Dembele. Thrashes across in for Ramos, who's headed it in for 2-2. Van der Ven, what a run this is. 50 yards, 60 yards. What a goal.
Tottenham are about to dare us to do. Don't go there and wave the white flag. You have to fight.
Yeah, can't wait for this one. Arsenal against Bayern Munich. A huge week for Arsenal, isn't it? They managed to get one over their North London rivals. At the weekend, they got Bayern Munich facing Harry Kane, and then Chelsea at the weekend. Chelsea, on the back of that 3-0 win against Barcelona, will be in good spirits as they face Arsenal. Right, let's get into Arsenal against Bayern Munich. And delighted to say that producer Sim is back in the studio as a Tottenham fan.
You had to remind me of that Sunday, didn't you?
I did. Well, we were back in the studio and we were previewing the North London derby. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm very, very happy with the results.
You were wrong, though, weren't you, that we weren't going to score? And then Richarlison went and scored a worldie. But apart from that, I think everything ran to exactly how we expected it.
You know what? I think that Richarlison goal will go down as one of the best forgotten goals ever because it was so good. Silenced the crowd, but then Arsenal went on to kind of get the result in the end. Let's look ahead to Arsenal against Bayern Munich now. Harry Kane back at his playground, the Emirates. Back page of the Daily Star saying Mikel Arteta not scared of Harry Kane. That's despite the Bayern Munich striker scoring more goals at the Emirates than any other opposition player with 6. He's netted 15 times in 21 games in all competitions against the Gunners. I mean, how are they going to stop Harry Kane?
Well, they haven't managed to do it very well in the past, have they, Arsenal? But it's not just Harry Kane, is it now? It's Michael Olise, who's... I'm sure Palace fans will be very annoyed to see him staying fit all the time at Bayern Munich now, because I don't feel like we saw enough of him at Palace. He was always kind of in and out with injuries and stuff. You've obviously got Nicholas Jackson on loan from Chelsea. Probably won't return to Chelsea, but he's doing all right there as well. And Luis Diaz as well. So lots of Premier League talent or ex-Premier League talent for Arsenal to contend with. But would you say, Katie, that because of the history, Harry Kane is the one that you're most worried about?
Probably most of all, probably going on the stats as well. And whenever Harry Kane is in incredible form at the moment as well. And these are the kind of games that he really relishes. But at the same time, I'm just excited to see, because we don't see much of Michael Olise, Luis Diaz in terms of we watch so much Premier League football, but in terms of their league form, I don't know how much Bundesliga action you watch, but it's good to see how these players are getting on against Premier League teams. And when we get these Champions League matchups, I'm actually really just excited to see how they're getting on for Bayern Munich. Michael Olise going from strength to strength. Like you say, Luis Diaz, I was still amazed that he left Liverpool because he was such a good player. Even things like when you look back to Sadio Mane, all these players that left Liverpool, you're like, oh gosh, that was such a good team. And Nicholas Jackson as well. So interesting to see him and also Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair play to him.
I wonder what Vincent Kompany's ceiling is as a manager, because I think people forget how well he did in that season at Burnley when, they got, I might be wrong here, but I think they got over 100 points. Played some amazing football, and you're seeing that Scott Parker's Burnley, who play a completely different style, and now look like they're going to get dragged into that relegation battle and probably go down. So, he's had an unbelievable playing career, plays great football. Do you reckon that he could be like kind of one of the top managers in sort of years to come, or do you think he'll stay at Bayern for years?
I don't see why I'd leave at the moment. It's Bayern Munich.
Yeah, why would you?
It was such I was quite shocked when I heard that Vincent Kompany was going to Bayern Munich, but he's proved us all wrong and he's doing great things. You feel as though the next test is really getting Bayern Munich with the players that he's got and this team really into the latter stages of the competition. That's where he's going to be able to flex his muscles and say, look, Europe, this is how I'm doing as a manager. Should we hear quickly from Harry Kane? He was asked yesterday whether he particularly enjoys scoring against Arsenal, having already done so 15 times.
I'm not too sure. Obviously, when I was at Tottenham in those days, it was always a big game, always a big moment in the North London derby. But ultimately, the game isn't about me and Arsenal. The game is about Bayern Munich and Arsenal, and obviously I'm in good form and I feel like I can score against any team, and hopefully tomorrow night I can do that as well. But I don't think it means any more or less in that sense. It's about trying to help my team to win the game, and that's what I'll try and do tomorrow.
Another big game, Harry Kane's former club Spurs up against PSG, a repeat of the Super Cup final in August. Spurs going ahead and then losing it to PSG. They won on penalty. Sounds familiar. Same with the Spursy fan. But
Spursy fan, did you say?
Spursy fan. Sorry, that slipped into my dialogue. Pressure on. How do you think this is going to go? There's going to be an element of revenge in there after what happened in the Super Cup final, don't you think?
I think so. I just wonder if Thomas Frank's going to do the same as he did at the Emirates, because he's got a lot of stick in for doing the 3-5-2, the 5-3-2, probably more of a 5-5 than anything, because we offered absolutely nothing going forward. But what we don't have to contend with, which is a bit of a help, I'd say, is Ousmane Dembele, obviously the best player in the world.
They don't have him, do they?
No, or Desiree Doué or Hakimi, which means we're also
players.
We're also robbed of a battle between. Even though we saw it in August, we're robbed of the battle between two of the quickest players in the world in Mickey van der Ven and Achraf Hakimi. But you probably couldn't ask for three better players to be missing from PSG. But you know what? We've not lost in the Champions League yet. Hopefully that continues tonight.
Yeah, so lots of Champions League action for you. Liverpool against PSV, that's at 8 o'clock. The game we were just talking about there, PSG against Tottenham, is also at 8 o'clock. And, of course, Arsenal against Bayern Munich. Right, it's time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
And this lovely person has entered the studio, Emma Kerwin. A very good morning. We're rattling through the show this morning. We have time for about 2 stories on the front pages. What are you going to hit me with first?
So, firstly, there's a survey with Christmas just around the corner. I think attention's really turning to the big day. So,
the big day. The big day. I mean, it is a big day.
It is an exhausting, busy, lovely day. Just 39% of hardworking folk actually bring festive magic alive when the rest are Christmas coasters. So people who aren't really getting involved, you've got one side who are getting all the gifts, sorting the tree, all the food, and the rest of them are just waking up on the day and just enjoying it all.
Yeah. I mean, where do you sit on that?
I think when I was a little bit younger, in my 20s,
yeah,
I was definitely just a
and now you're full festive.
Yeah. Now I'm.
Do you host?
This is going to be the first year that I'll be hosting.
You know what? This is going to be the first year I'm hosting. Really? I know. I say I'm. My husband is definitely the cook of the house, chef of the house, rather. And I'm going to be the hostess with the mostess. I'm going to do the table with all the decorations.
That's what I'm really
lots of inspo. Probably going to spend God knows how much money on just decoration that no one cares about.
I just want a theme, a really good theme. Some cocktails. I want everyone to bring their own cocktail.
Oh, that's fun.
It could be a little bit.
I make a great porn star martini.
Yeah,
really good. I actually get requests to make them at parties. They're like, Kate, can you come and make your... I just riddle it with loads of sugar and everyone seems very happy on the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you excited for Christmas? I've gone really early this year. I don't know why. I can't wait to get my Christmas decorations out on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for Christmas this year.
I just think it's coming around so fast. I just don't know where the year has gone. I'm kind of in a bit of panic mode because I'm going on holiday next week. So I'm trying to get it all. I'm going to Switzerland.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Very nice. Christmas markets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. So I'm trying to kind of get everything sorted in a very short space of time, and I'm usually quite last minute. So.
Okay. One very brief question, brief story before we go.
Okay. So apparently we only become an adult at the age of 32, which is quite good for me because I've just turned 32, and I've always felt a little bit like, when am I going to feel like an adult? I still don't.
You actually think that? Yeah. I will never be an adult. I will forever be a child. I swear, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more and more immature.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best way to be. And apparently our brain starts declining at 66. So we've got
a bit of time.
Good years.
Yeah, 30 good years. And then just, give up after that. Yeah. On that lovely and really cheerful note, thanks so much, Emma. Right. Okay, coming up next, we're going to be hearing from Arne Slot, who needs a result tonight. They're at home to PSV in the Champions League. Alan and Ray Partipala are coming up next very shortly with talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 o'clock. Katie Shanahan here with Early Sports Breakfast. It is 5:48.
Las Vegas, baby, on talkSPORT.
Okay, good morning. Katie Shanahan here on talkSPORT with Early Sports Breakfast. A very good morning if you're just waking up this Wednesday morning. Alan Brazil and Ray Partipala will be here in 8 minutes' time from 6 o'clock with talkSPORT Breakfast. They've got a packed show very shortly. Closing this Friday, though, at 4 p.m. Don't miss your chance to kick off 2026 by winning an epic trip to Vegas. That's thanks to our friends at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. You and your best mate could be flying upper class from London to Vegas, checking into a luxury spa villa for 4 incredible nights at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, cheering from the stands as the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And to top it all off, you get £5,000 in cash to play with as well. So all you need to do is clear your calendar from January the 2nd to January the 7th, 2026, because nothing starts a new year like Vegas. A very good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
What a prize that is. Wow, how exciting. Now, returning to Liverpool as Arne Slot is a man under pressure at the moment. That's following a shock run of 6 league defeats in 7. They did beat Real Madrid last time out in the Champions League, though. Tonight, they host PSV. That's live for you on talkSPORT 2. And Arne Slot was asked how the group are responding to their rather poor run of form.
Something I didn't expect to be in. Not at any club I was ever going to work at, let alone if you play at Liverpool. If you not play, I wish I played. If you manage Liverpool. So that is unbelievable. I've said many times over here, you cannot find, if you even can find an excuse, you will never find enough excuses to make it that you perform like this. So that's unexpected for the club. For me, for everyone, and but I'm also working at a club. If there's ever a club you need to face this, maybe this is the best club to face it, because the harder it gets at a club like this, the more we are together, the more we are trying to achieve the things that Liverpool usually achieves.
Okay, well, lots of pressure on Liverpool at the moment. Really tricky run of form at the moment. Do you think it's time for Hugo Ekitike to start at number 9 over Alexander Isak? Well, Dimitar Berbatov has urged Isak to stay strong mentally and forget his £125 million price tag if he's to turn his form around at Liverpool. So Isak's yet to score in the Premier League for Liverpool, with his only goal coming since joining the club. That was in the League Cup against Championship side Southampton. He's now made 9 appearances for the Premier League champions. Saturday's loss to Nottingham Forest saw Isak become the first Liverpool player since 1906 to suffer defeat in each of his first 4 starts for the club in the English top flight. Right, here's what's coming up on breakfast this morning. So Alan Brazil and Ray Partipala will be here very shortly at 6 o'clock with talkSPORT Breakfast. They'll be running through all the European action with European football genius Kevin Hatchard coming on the programme. Former Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Man City and Newcastle midfielder Didier Hamann joins the boys. That's going to be live at 8 o'clock. And Madness frontman, the Chelsea fanatic Suggs, will be in the studio to reflect on last night's triumph over Barcelona as they won 3-0. Lots of texts this morning on who is the best teenage sensation that you've seen live. We've had this from Reece saying Jack Wilshere, purely for his performance against Barcelona when he had Xavi and Iniesta in his pocket. Morning, Katie. Max Dowman will outshine both Yamal and Esteval. Good. Darren saying Glenn Hoddle or Gaza. No English player better as a teenager. And Jack here saying best teenager I've seen is Cesc Fabregas. We've also had Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney, and lots of those texts coming in. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast. Me, Katie Shanahan, Alan and Ray on the way next with talkSPORT Breakfast. Have a great day, and I will see you same time tomorrow.